Hi everyone, and welcome back to a Nigerian Man's Perspective. If you're here for the first time, please give this video a big like. So, immigration has always been a major issue globally. For decades, Nigerians and Ghanaians have migrated to the UK seeking better lives and opportunities. But recently, we've seen a significant surge in deportations back to these countries. Why? Today, we're diving into the history of immigration, the current deportation crisis, and the profound impacts on all parties involved. The UK has long been a destination for migrants, especially from its former colonies. After World War II, a wave of migration began with the Windrush generation, bringing Caribbean and African migrants to rebuild Britain, as it was known then. By the 1980s, a significant number of Nigerians and Ghanaians had joined this migration, drawn by education, economic opportunities, and sometimes fleeing political unrest. There were journalists and political activists that had to flee these countries and sought refuge in Britain as well as other countries as well. Nigerian and Ghanaian immigrants quickly became an integral part of UK society. By the 1990s and early 2000s, these communities had grown, particularly in cities like London, Manchester, and Birmingham. You could even add Liverpool to the list. Many immigrants worked in healthcare. The care workers you see today, doctors, nurses, lab technicians, whatever you have it. Education as well, and various service sectors, banking, and the like. However, with growing numbers came challenges in immigration control and legal residency statuses. So, you might ask the question, why the surge in deportations? Since 2024, under Prime Minister Keir Starmer, which is the Labour government, the UK government has intensified its immigration enforcement, particularly after Brexit. The Labour government has shifted gears compared to the previous Conservative administration, while the Tories emphasised tightening borders and Brexit's taking back control. Labour under Starmer has focused on more aggressive deportations, particularly targeting those who entered the UK irregularly or overstayed visas. The current government views deportation as essential to restoring public faith in the immigration system, which has been strained post-Brexit. We're not going to go into the Brexit effects on this particular video, but let's carry on. In contrast, former Conservative administrations, especially under Theresa May and Boris Johnson, were focused on restrictive policies like the hostile environment, making the UK difficult for undocumented immigrants to live and work. Starmer's Labour is not only continuing some of these policies, but taking them further by speeding up deportations. Now, how does the UK compare to other Western nations when it comes to immigrations? Countries like Germany and France have faced similar pressures due to rising numbers of asylum seekers and economic migrants. Germany, for example, has taken a more integration-focused approach, offering paths to citizenship and assimilation. The United States, under its changing leadership, swings between more lenient and restrictive immigration policies. But the UK, post-Brexit, seems to have distinguished itself as particularly tough on migration, especially compared to its European neighbours. Deportations and stricter enforcement have become central to its immigration strategy. So the question arises, is the UK still an attractive destination for African migrants in 2024 and beyond? Guys, this is time for you to get interactive. Please put your comments in the comments section, particularly to this question, which I'll ask again. Is the UK still an attractive destination for African migrants in 2024 and beyond? If you think the answer is yes, put it in the comment section. If you disagree and you think the answer is no, also put it in the comment section. Let's get back to it. Despite its tough stance on immigration, the UK remains a preferred destination for many Africans due to its historical ties, economic opportunities, and the strong presence of African diaspora communities. In some countries such as Nigeria, I think English is a very, very, very strong factor that people don't talk about, because You see, if a Nigerian has to go to France, has to go to Germany, has to go to Italy, has to go to Norway, has to go to Denmark, English is not the first language in those countries. Yes, a number of the people there do speak English, but for your day-to-day activities, for working, it's virtually, you're not going to be able to survive without, I mean, you can, but you restrict yourself to kind of opportunities you get in those countries. So it becomes easier for like Ghanaians, and back to the topic, it becomes easier for like Ghanaians and Nigerians to just morph into the UK, Canada, Australia, or the United States, as those countries primarily speak English. Let's get back to it. Recent deportation flights and stricter immigration controls are making some rethink their options. Other countries in Europe and even Canada have become more attractive destinations for Nigerians and Ghanaians seeking better lives. And you see that UK universities have been complaining of late. They've been complaining because the number of students coming in, the number of enrollments have dropped. I think University of Sunderland recently terminated appointments for 76 of their academic staff because the numbers coming to University of Sunderland have dwindled because of the immigration policies and what happens to those students when they graduate, you know, them getting jobs and post-study visa and the rest of it. It's out of scope for this video, but it's becoming more unbearable and less attractive. So they're looking at other countries that will give them a path to citizenship quicker, or the immigration policies are not as stringent. Now, deportations of Nigerians and Ghanaians have happened before. This is not the first time, but it's happened in smaller numbers. In 2020, for instance, only four, I repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 of such deportations were recorded. However, recent deals between Nigeria and the UK have paved the way for more aggressive deportation strategies. One of the most recent flights, this just happened on Friday, just last week Friday, saw 44 people being deported, making it the largest single flight of its kind. For the UK, these deportations are part of a broader immigration crackdown aimed at curbing illegal migration. The government believes that controlling migration more effectively will ease pressure on public services like the NHS, etc., public housing, and help manage the economy post-Brexit. But there's a lot of public debate. Many argue that the humanitarian costs far outweigh any perceived benefits. What do you guys think? Put it in the comment section. Nigeria and Ghana, on the other hand, are left to reintegrate deportees, many of whom have spent years, even decades in the UK. Some of these deportees borrowed money to come to the UK, and to be deported with nothing. I don't want to go into the mental impacts. These countries often struggle with high unemployment rates, and the sudden influx of deportees only adds to the challenges. For individuals who left as children or young adults, returning to a homeland that has dramatically changed can be traumatic. Some of these people going back home have no accommodation, they don't have any solid network of friends or family to assimilate them back into Nigeria and Ghana as they returned unexpectedly. The deportees themselves face the harshest reality. Some have lived in the UK for over 15 years, built lives, started families, and established careers. Deportation means leaving everything behind: homes, jobs, and sometimes even their children. Many also face stigma and isolation upon returning, especially if they are seen as failed abroad. Socially, deportations tear family apart. Children born in the UK may be separated from their deported parents. This creates a ripple effect within communities, fostering a climate of fear and insecurity, not only in the UK, but also in Nigeria and Ghanaian diaspora. Legally, these deportations raise several questions. Many deportees have legal claims that are pending, and some argue that their human rights are being violated. Lawyers are increasingly taking these cases to court, challenging the legality of fast-track deportations without proper judicial review. The situation is complex. While the UK government aims to control immigration, the human cost is immense. Are deportations the right solution? Guys, put it in the comment section. Can the UK balance its legal and humanitarian responsibilities? Again, that's what the comment section is for. And for Nigeria and Ghana, how will they handle the growing number of returnees? How does the UK's approach compare to other Western nations? And is the UK still a viable option for migrants in the future? Food for thought. What do you think? Is the UK's immigration policy justified? Or is it causing more harm than good? Leave your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful breakdowns of global issues. Again, I remain a Nigerian man. This is my perspective on the issue. Looking forward to your comments. Share, like, and subscribe, and see you in the next one.